mean,
and I'll see you on the next one.
you see, what had happened was,
Probably once a week I'm gonna try to do a video like this.
I don't really,
And I'll see you on the next.
whatever, do the thing. What's going on, guys? Truck Talk Tuesday, finally coming back at you. I know all three of you have been eagerly waiting the return of Truck Talk Tuesday, so here we are. Hope you're having a great Tuesday or whatever day it is in your neck of the woods. So let's just get into it. So I apologize in advance. It's probably gonna be a little loud and shaky today. Like always, I'm running late, so got the skinny pedal down. Just going to try to pump this video out real quick and talk about 3 quick tips I learned in my first month of YouTube. Really probably my first month and a half, but we'll call it my first month of YouTube. So number 1, first and foremost, don't focus on the gear. So I know it's real easy for a lot of bigger YouTubers to make these videos and say don't focus on the gear as they shoot on a $1,500 camera, but as a guy who shoots everything on a GoPro and his cell phone, there's ways around the gear. You don't need every piece of equipment. You don't need a DSLR. It's real easy to see these guys, you know, flaunting a, I don't know, like a 5D Mark II or a EOS R, saying don't sweat the gear, you know, as I shoot on my $2,000 camera. So don't worry about it. Grab a cell phone, grab a GoPro, grab whatever you can, shoot a video, and the content is really what is valuable, not necessarily, I mean, gray area, right? The content is what people watch it for, but if people can't tolerate a crappy video in order to see the content, then they're just going to leave and go somewhere else. So there's a gray area, there's a fine line there, but most cell phones, most, you know, really almost any camera you get now is going to shoot 1080p or even 720p is shoot most of the time good enough. It's really more about the composition and editing. So I'd say the second thing I learned in my first month or so of YouTube is pick an editing program, learn it in and out, and stick with it. You'll watch my videos from the beginning, and it's kind of crazy to say, it's kind of crazy to think that there's a progression there, but there really is. Like the first couple videos were edited in Windows Movie Maker, and you know, they were okay, but there's not a lot you can do. You can throw your clips in, trim them, you can put in titles and stuff. There's stuff you can do and you can get by with it, but from there I was like, shoot, I can't even, like, you couldn't put some kind of graphic on the screen over top, and you can't do like cloning, or really there's no masking is the big part. You also can't do like the cut the video but keep the audio as you're showing something else, and those were some of the little pet peeves I had about it. It was okay, but so from there I went to a program called Shotcut, and pretty much if you just Google free editing software, you're going to have Shotcut, DaVinci Resolve, and HitFilm come up. And Shotcut, a lot of the effects and stuff in Shotcut weren't, I mean, it was very geared towards a beginner. I would say Shotcut and Windows Movie Maker were right there, kind of very similar to each other. And then from Shotcut I went directly to HitFilm, which is where I'm at now. But there's like so much you can do with a video in HitFilm. I mean, from the effects to masking to all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can do real cinematic titles and, you know, B-roll, all that good stuff. Color grading is great. You can completely change a shot just by color grading it. But I won't get too much into the editing. I'm getting really off into left field here. So to wrap it up, start with a decent program, learn all the tricks and tips you can, but don't let that hold you back either. When I got started, it was Windows Movie Maker, no effects, no color grading, no audio, no nothing. You just literally drag clips in there, and I was able to do a couple of cool things with it. If you go to the end of this video, there's a little montage sequence burnout thing I did that was, in my opinion, pretty decent for Windows Movie Maker, but just pick something and go with it. I mean, there's tons of free stuff out there. Hit Film, really good though, and I'll leave it at that. Third thing is, don't take it too seriously. And this, my friend, if you ask my wife, this is the one thing that I struggle with the most about YouTube, is do not take it too seriously. Worry about taking it seriously when you get to 100,000 subscribers and you're getting enough money and you're considering quitting your full-time job and going to YouTube full-time. Don't take it too seriously, but mean what you do, put your heart into it, make content that you would like to watch, and then just, you know, let the rest happen. There's no reason for me to believe that I'll have 1 million subscribers in a year. There's no reason for me to believe that I'll have 1,000 subscribers in a year. I mean, that's kind of my own personal goal, is to get to 1,000 subscribers in a year, but I have to kind of step back and say, hey, you're just making cool videos and putting them on the internet. And at the end of the day, what does it matter if a video only gets 50 views? What does it matter? You know, it's just a video. I mean, it doesn't affect you if it gets a bunch of views or if it doesn't get any. So step back, kind of relax, just do it for the fun of it. Honestly, at this point right now, 1 month in or 2 months in, wherever I'm at, I'm having the most fun editing the videos and trying to put together cool little montages and, you know, working on B-roll, whatever they call it, you know. It's just, that's where I'm having fun at right now. You know, I'm making all kinds of different videos and putting them out there, and some of them are doing good, some of them are flops. Truck Talk Tuesday is almost always a flop. No offense to the 3 of y'all watching, but, you know, just step back and swing for the fences and don't look back. I don't know. There's a good analogy there, but I can't come up with it. Hopefully I've rambled on enough to get a full video's worth out of this. That's kind of this goes along with number 3, so call it 3.5. When you're shooting, there's going to be 1 million retakes at first. Nobody gets it right their first try, and to think that someone, you know, like these big YouTubers will sit down and do a huge vlog and get all these scenes and everything, and it just happens to be the first time they whip their camera out, they get it just right. That would be, you know, wrong. I don't know, some drastic synonym for the word wrong, but it would be wrong to assume that. You know, sitting here in my truck, I drive almost an hour whenever I do these videos to get 10 minutes of talking, to get 5 minutes of talking. There's a lot of times where I'll do that. I'll be in mid-sentence and just have some involuntary reaction to, like, scratch my nose, and then I'll realize it halfway through and then have to start completely over. So don't get frustrated at having to do a bunch of retakes. You know, if it's something like you're doing it in public, or if it's an event that only happens once and forever, you know, it kind of makes it a little bit harder. But if you're doing a vlog, if you're doing something that you can repeat, if you're trying to do like a how-to video, be prepared to do it 10 times in order to get all the right angles and footage that you need to turn it into a video. But that's about it. I'm getting into the city, I'm getting into a little bit of traffic here, so I'm gonna wrap this up. So I appreciate you watching, I appreciate you hitting the like button if you do. Go check out some of my other videos, and if that's the kind of thing you're into, consider hitting the subscribe button to see more. And I guess I'll see you on the next one, or I won't, who knows.